Now, hello and welcome to this panel about the challenges of running a DAO. And before we start, it would be super interesting to know who of you have ever worked for a DAO? A couple of hands. And I think many of you guys know the everyday challenges of running a DAO. For example, coordinational challenges, but also strategic challenges. And in today's panel, we will discuss how to fix these problems. And before we dive deeper, my name is Juri. I'm the co-founder of DeFi Times and the host of the DeFi Times podcast. I'm also working as a strategic advisor for MJH DAO. And today I have the pleasure to host this panel with Matteo Pandolfi and Denis from Idle Finance. Hey guys, so beautiful to have this panel with you today.
Hi everybody, I'm Matteo, I'm from Idle Finance, I'm the CEO and founder of Idle Labs, the company that initially founded and released the Idle protocol and DAO, and now I'm working with the Treasury League at Idle Finance DAO.
And I'm Denis, I'm working in a marketing and communication league as a product manager. I have a long history of working with various types of organizations, from small agencies to big agencies. I have my own brick and mortar business, and now working in the DAO as well.
So, as we can see, you are both very experienced with DAOs. And with that being said, it would be super awesome if you could give us an introduction to the benefits of DAOs. So, why does it make it sense to integrate a DAO into a project?
Let's start.
So, pretty obvious first benefit of a DAO is having human efficiency, because you have a lot of different people with different skill sets, and those people communicate and coordinate between each other. And we have a cool quote by Yuval Harari here. He's one of my favorite authors. He's a pretty famous historian, has a cool book called 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. You should check it out. So the quote is, "Sapiens can cooperate in extremely flexible ways with countless numbers of strangers." I will highlight here the strangers, right? And that's why sapiens rule the world, whereas ants eat our leftovers and chimps are locked up in zoos and research laboratories. And to kind of highlight this point, we have an example straight up from Idle. Since Idle was actually founded by a bunch of developers, and they basically had this tunnel vision, and it was actually recognized in the community, as Idle was basically very focused on building a product with a brilliant team of developers, but still marketing was obviously missing, as a lot of people pointed out. And we did solve that with, you can switch it up, with one of the more active members actually posted a proposal on our governance forum in which he proposed, okay guys, we're missing marketing, here's an official proposal, let's make a communications and marketing league. Right? But that's just one of the benefits. There are some other benefits as well.
Yeah, exactly. So human efficiency is definitely one of the benefits that DAO gives us. And you can see that's a clear example of how the community can be beneficial to move forward with different initiatives in the DAO. There is also a capital efficiency side. So the DAO hive mind helps us understanding multiple paths where we can reach this kind of efficiency. And when you form a DAO initially, you have a treasury. And the treasury is basically formed by native tokens, and you gotta find a way, in a decentralized way, to manage these tokens. So initially what we thought and we wanted to implement was a sort of way of thinking to manage this kind of treasury, a paradigm. So money should never sit still was the actual paradigm that we started to implement. And that's where DeFi actually come into place. So DeFi gives us a DAO, it gives a tool to the DAOs in order to manage those treasuries. So you can start by just diversifying your treasuries in stable coins. As I said, those treasuries are composed mainly by native tokens. So first thing first, you diversify your treasury into stable coins in order to stabilize it. But then what you do with those stable coins, you have yield aggregators that helps you put those stable coins at work, and they're not sitting still anymore. Other examples of tools that DeFi is currently giving to DAOs are D2D on-chain agreements. So token exchange between different DAOs in order to solidify their relationship and their cooperation. and as well as also rewarding value creation from the contribution. Treasuries are made up especially also to reward the value contribution, the value creation from the contributors of a DAO. Of course, skies is the limit here, so if anybody here from the audience would like to talk about and brainstorm about possible tools that can make a treasury more efficient, we would be definitely happy to do that.
Yeah, indeed. DeFi improves the efficiency of every organization in the world, or it can at least, because DeFi is if we just look at these examples, we see that also centralized organizations could profit from these kinds of tools significantly. Nonetheless, we talked about the benefits. Still, we are not overtaking the world yet. There are still a lot of problems that we are facing day by day. So, with that being said, could you name us some challenges you have to face day by day?
Yeah, that's definitely true. And basically, tied next to the human efficiency, we have very obvious problem, which is cooperation, right? Since you have a lot of different parties in the DAO, so this is actually a 1 minute long video of my chat with one of the more active community members, right? And he has a bunch of very good proposals, but also how to filter this. This is just one person on one channel. You have a lot of different people, then you have very many channels, just Telegram, Discord, Twitter, whatever, and then you have people with different backgrounds. Somebody's from marketing, has this perspective, somebody's from development, somebody's from finance. And then how do you prioritize all those proposals? Do you use something like a project management tool? This is kind of hard for somebody who's not native to a project management tool, right? So it's kind of hard to coordinate, and there are actually even more problems than just simple coordination.
Yeah, exactly. Other than coordination, which is one of the main challenges, there are also the leadership. We have a clear example. We had a clear example in the Idle DAO as well. So the community was actually pointing out the problem. The website needed to be renewed. We needed to be upgraded, but all the community was pointing out a problem without finding a way to lead the initiative in order to solve that problem. So leadership actually is one of the challenges, but it's still in a gray area for a DAO. A leader, in our opinion, is not a manager. It's not someone that is evaluating what you do and evaluating your results. Leadership is, in our opinion, someone that knows what to do next for a specific initiative. So in a DAO, anybody can be a leader. This is a concept that does not to be really defined. It's something that comes natural throughout the governance flow. So with this challenge, you can think about a DAO as a chicken coop. So, there's a lot of people that are trying to find problems, that are finding actual problem without finding a direction in order to solve that problem. So those are the main challenges that we're facing right now for DAOs.
Yeah, I think everybody who ever have worked for a DAO knows these kinds of problems. And still, we are here to talk about solutions. And you came up with a pretty interesting solution in order to tackle these kinds of problems. So could you tell us more about your solution for this?
Absolutely. So with Idle DAO, we introduced the concept of leagues. Leagues are operational units that pull people together on the same area of expertise, but all work together toward the same goals, making the protocol and DAO sustainable in the long term. These operational units are elected by the community on a 3-month mandate basis, and in this way you can see that you can have the community acting as a sort of board of directors for the DAO. So the thesis that we started from in order to implement this concept is that we think that most of the token holders will tend to be passive, and that's totally fine for us. And that's why we wanted to give them a way for active community members to self-organize themselves into teams and to move forward in a more quick way different initiatives. Of course, to do that, we needed to first define a governance process. To do that, so we clearly defined at the beginning with our community what was the process to propose a new idea, so create a new idea and then move it forward through different phases in order to then execute it and implement it on chain. And then we needed to find a connection between this governance process, the leagues, and the community. So in this process, there's no hierarchical structure. The leagues and the community are on the same level, basically. But you can see the leagues as executors for the ideas that are coming from the feedback that our community is giving us. So in this way, you can keep up with the development, especially in a market that is highly growing like DeFi, with these teams that are specialized and helps move forward initiatives that comes from actual community feedback. So, of course, this kind of structure allow different degrees of participation. So, if you want to start with a DAO, you can just open into different communication channels, Discord, the governance forum, and being a community member, which means that you just giving your opinion, giving your feedback regarding different initiatives, even if it's just a thumbs up in Discord, even if it's just a liking in the governance forum, that's enough to start off with a DAO. Next level would be to become a commenter and a casual contributor. So you're not only expressing your opinion, you're not only giving your feedback, but you're actually structuring answers and actually giving a more structured feedback to the other members, the more active members that are participating in the DAO. And then the third level would be an ambassador, a more like a recurrent contributor. So now you're actually getting more specialized, you're getting more, you're structuring your answers, and your answers actually help shaping up the proposals that the DAO is making up. Last level would be to become an actual league member, which means that now you're working every day on the maintenance and growth of the protocol. You're leading the initiatives, you're proposing new initiatives, and that would be the last level in order to get into the DAO workflow.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually how I started. A lot of people ask me how to get into a DAO, how to start working in DeFi, and that's basically how you start. I'm a real life example of that as well. Since I started as a community member, and I grew more and more invested. I had more proposals. Then when I wanted to make more deeper proposals, I started participating more and more using governance forum, and now I'm a league member.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about this concept is the following, that this concept doesn't only unleashes the true potential of DAOs, but also of people, because the people can choose where they participate in the DAO. So which problems they want to solve. Do they want to become just a community member, or are they so motivated that they want to become a team member? So everybody can look up to a DAO and sees and can seek for problems that he or she wants to solve. So I think this is a very, very interesting concept, and I guess if there's any project in the room that is interested in this concept or interested in implementing this concept into its project, I think you're here to help.
Yeah, exactly. We're all innovators here. Like, we don't have a perfect formula. Like, this is not a perfect formula. This is something that works for us. I'm sure there's gonna be more challenges. I'm sure you guys are gonna have more challenges as well. So just reach out and we can connect. Ask us after the panel. Reach out on Discord or whatever.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So if you wanna either jump on our DAO and start looking at starting from a community member and then incrementally become a more active contributor until you get into the leagues, we are looking forward to seeing you jumping on our communication channel like Discord and our governance forum. So definitely happy and keen to see more people talking about DAOs with us.
Thanks, guys.